Hello friends, welcome to your week ahead reading with me, Intuitive Rene. I have got two amazing decks on the table that I want to work with today. This is a deck that arrived by me this week. It is my most prized possession at the moment. I am so honored and so blessed to own and to have this deck, and I thought I would share it with you for our week ahead spread. This deck is like absolutely no other deck that I own. And yeah, if you're not in the tarot community, or if you're not, you're not as passionate about tarot as I am, it might not mean anything to you, but just know that it's special. I don't want to go into too much details, but just know that it's special. And I'm just so honored and so grateful and so blessed to be able to share it with you. So, this is the Spirit Keepers Tarot. This is the Revelation Edition by the beautiful, amazing, fabulous, wonderful human being by the name of Benabel Wen. And I thought I would pair it with the daily healing cards as the oracle for the theme for the week ahead, and then we will use the Spirit Keepers Tarot to get the detail for each day of the coming week. The daily healing cards, it is cards for awakening your best self by Inner Seagull. And it is a series of cards that just have short little phrases on them. And I thought that would actually give us quite a nice theme for the week ahead. So let's get straight into the reading. Right, I have already taken the cards out of the boxes, so I'm just going to move them out of the way. And this is the daily healing cards, and each one has a different picture on it. They've all got the flower of life, but they all have different pictures. So let's just give them a bit of a shuffle and see which one wants to come through. That was just bad shuffling as always. Let's see our theme for the week ahead. What is our theme for the week ahead? What is the thing that we need to focus on? What is the thing that we need to be mindful of and aware of as we go into this next week? What is the overall theme for the next 7 days, please, Spirit? Let's see what wants to come through. I'm trying not to look at the images because I don't want to be drawn to. Let's see if I actually hold it a little bit more that way. Right. And I'm going to cut the deck over there, and we're going to take the card off the top. Oh, look at that. We've got some river stones. I'm trying to find some space here. Let's see if I can pick it up now and show you. We've got some beautiful river stones behind our flower of life. Let's see what our theme is. Oh, I love that. Master the step you are on. You know, I think that is actually quite appropriate, quite relevant, and actually quite beautiful for our theme for the week ahead. Because master the step that you're on. You know, we're also focused on what's next, tomorrow, next month, next year. What's coming up next. We don't seem to live in the present. We don't seem to be in the here and the now. You know, we're so focused on our past, we're so focused on our future, we forget about the today. So as a theme for the week ahead, master the step you are on. To me, this is just a reminder to be present, a reminder to be in the here and now, to not fixate and obsess about tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, but to actually focus on doing and being the best version of yourself here and now today, and trusting that everything else will work out exactly as. So I think that as a theme for the week ahead is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm just thinking, I know you can't really read it. The imagery or the text is not very clear, but I'm going to leave it there and as a reminder, and I will just remind us throughout the reading that we need to master the step that we're on, master or focus on the here and now in the week ahead. Right, let's have a look at this beautiful deck. Aren't these gorgeous? This is the backs. They've got this beautiful gold gilding on the side. So Spirit Keepers Tarot. Let's give it a shuffle. I shuffle very, very gently with this deck because, as I said, it is my absolute most prized possession right now. So I'm going to give it a long, very gentle shuffle. Says she dropping cards on the table. I will speed up the shuffling just to save you the torture, and then I'm going to draw out cards, one card for each day of the week. Right, let's do it. Right, let's see what let's see what the days of the week have in store for us. So just a reminder, Master the step that you are on. Most importantly, let's focus on the here and now. Let's focus on each day this week only. Let's not worry about any other time. Let's focus on being the best that we can be in the here and now, appreciating and accepting and living the best life that we can. Let's have a look for Sunday. For Sunday, what is the energy of the day? What do we know? What do we need to know? And what do we need to be mindful of? We have got the Seven of Scepters, otherwise keywords known as the Dark Horse. The Seven of Scepters is the card of being defensive. It's the card of being guarded. And you can see there we stand in the back and we really have got our defensive pose, and we are being very mindful of all of these hands and all of these other things that are coming towards us, and we're holding our ground, we're holding our strength, and we're not backing down for anybody. Sometimes this is really good. Sometimes this is exactly who we need to be, what we need to be. But for me, I always, when the Seven of Scepters comes up, I always say, we have to make sure that we are defensive and guarded in the appropriate places, in the appropriate times in our life. But if we are overly defensive or overly guarded, it can come across as actually being a little bit disconnected, distant, and it's almost like you keep everybody away and you don't let anybody in. So today I'm going to ask you for the Sunday, for this week ahead, where we are mastering the step that you want, just double check with yourself, okay? Every conversation you have, every emotion that comes up for you, anything that happens in your day, just take a second and ask yourself, are you being overly defensive or are you not? Is it appropriate? Is it not? How should you be responding? Are you the kind of person, or in your situations at the moment where anybody comes up and makes a suggestion, are you automatically saying no? Are you being overly defensive and overly, I'm hesitating, but I want to say aggressive in your approach? And you've got to ask yourself, is it relevant and appropriate? Is that actually the right way to behaving right now? Is that the right stance to be taking in your circumstances and in your situation? If it is, then that's fabulous. You stand your ground and you hold tight. If it's not, okay, if it's not relevant, if it's not appropriate, then just recognize or just acknowledge the way that you're behaving and the way that you're feeling, and maybe just let your barriers down a little bit, because you're not letting anybody in. You're not letting anybody see you, see the vulnerable, see the beautiful you that you are. You're keeping everybody away. And you've got to ask yourself, is that really what you want? Is that appropriate? Is that relevant? And is that who you are? And I understand, I know we said we want to master the step that we're on, but we have been through a difficult time. For us in South Africa at the moment, we're going through a really difficult time. So I understand that everybody's got their opinions, everybody's got their thoughts, everybody's got their kind of their own fears and insecurities. So we are being very defensive. And I've even noticed conversations that I've had with friends and family recently. Everybody seems to be either in denial or quite aggressive in their understanding and their approach and their belief system, without really taking the time to listen to each other. So I do think the Seven of Scepters today is basically saying to us, pay attention to how you are responding. Ask yourself, is it relevant? Ask yourself, is it appropriate? And if it is, then you stand strong, you stand firm. But if it is a little bit too harsh, if it is a little bit too defensive, if it is a little bit too aggressive, just soften a little bit, just gentle a little bit, and give these people an opportunity to come a little bit closer. Don't keep everybody away. All right. Let's have a look and see the energy for Monday. If I can pick the cards up. So Monday comes along and we have got Five of Chalices, otherwise known as the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is the card of disappointment. It's the card of crying over spilt milk, as the saying goes. It's about recognizing that things don't always go according to plan. Things don't always work out the way they should be, and focusing on the negative. So if we look at the card, and actually let me see if I can show you a little bit closer. This artwork is just amazing. So here you stand, and there in front of you are three cups. Each one has spilt. You can see that they contain different liquids in them. You can see even the rose is wilted and dropping leaves and dropping petals and so forth. And there is disappointment, okay? We understand the disappointment. We can see the disappointment. We can understand it. But look here behind him. There are two beautiful cups. And these two beautiful cups are still full. They are still full of the juice of life, okay? So are you going to allow yourself to be impacted by the couple of things that have already gone wrong or that aren't working out or that are not fabulous? Or are you going to take a minute to stop, to think, to analyze, to look at the bigger picture, and to see that right there are opportunities for success, for happiness, for joy, for the things that you want in life. So don't allow yourself. And you know, there's definitely a theme developing here, and it is a theme of overreacting. Maybe overreacting is a bit of an overreaction, but maybe it's a theme of being quick to anger, quick to frustration, quick to disappointment, quick to any kind of negative response. That's what we've got going here. And honestly, I think this is Spirit saying to you, let's not be so quick to react in a negative way. Let's, first of all, master the step that you are on. Let's remember that. So before you respond, before you react, before you do anything, let's take a minute to observe, to take it all in, to understand, to comprehend everything that's in front of you, everything that's happening around you. Analyze the situation in as much detail as you can without bringing the emotion into it, without bringing the feelings of disappointment, anger, frustration, whatever it may be. Try and see things from a place of love, from a place of understanding, from a place of compassion. Compassion for yourself and compassion for other people. So on Monday, whatever the disappointments may be, whatever things you're suddenly facing, and you're looking at it going, why doesn't everything work out for me? Why do I always have challenges? Why do I always have problems? Why do things always fall over and empty? Why? Stop. And instead of asking those questions, just look around you and say, but hold a second. Maybe it's okay that those have fallen by the wayside because look, I have plenty more available to me. And focus on that. And when you change your perspective, when you change your outlook, when you change your perceptions, suddenly you'll be amazed at how the situation changes for the better. And that is how you master the step that you are on. That is how you master the life that is right there in front of you, the opportunities, the happiness, the joys, and the successes. When we focus on the defensive and on keeping everybody away, our world becomes smaller and smaller, darker and darker, gloomier and gloomier. But when we look around us and see potential and see opportunity, suddenly situations lighten, brighten, and become better, happier, and healthier. All right, let's have a look and see what energy we have for Tuesday. So Tuesday comes along and we have got the Four of Swords. So Four of Swords is the card of rest. It's the card of almost, if I can say, doing nothing. Okay. When we see the Four of Swords, it's the card that says to you, don't crawl into a ball, go to bed and go and sleep for a couple of hours. But while things are quiet, while there's not much taking place, while there's a little bit of lull in activity, take advantage and rest. Put your feet up, put your head back. You can see that he has stayed in his full armor, so he's ready to get up and go at a moment's notice if he needs to. He can grab his sword and he can go. He can go running into battle and protecting and doing all the things that he needs to do. But while everything is quiet, while the storm is calm, he is taking the opportunity to rest. And then you know what? Coming back to mastering the step that you're on, I do think this is quite relevant for this week because again, when there's quiet, when there's a lull in the storm, we're all thinking immediately about preparing for the next one and getting ready for the next one and doing this and doing that. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, why don't I just rest? Why don't I just do nothing? So I am going to say to you on Tuesday, if whatever's going on after the last 2 days that we have, on Tuesday it'll be a quiet, uneventful, simple day. Appreciate it, enjoy it, and don't complicate it. Take the time for nothing. Take the time to just breathe, to just rejuvenate and replenish your energy. Take the time to rest. Don't feel guilty, don't feel bad, don't feel like you're, letting anybody down by having a bit of a quieter, relaxed, more calm day. But Tuesday is not a day to initiate any big projects. Tuesday is not a day to do anything too strenuous or anything too adventurous. Tuesday is a day for calm, tranquility, peaceful. Only do the things that you have to. The rest of it, it can wait. Let the rest wait, because we want to make sure that we are taking advantage of the situation or the circumstances of that you have with you right now. We want to master the step that we're on before we start moving on to the next one. Right, let's have a look and see what Wednesday has in store for us. So Wednesday comes along and we get our wish granted, and we get the Nine of Chalices. So Nine of Chalices is the Nine of Cups, and it's the card of celebrating and acknowledging your successes. It's the card of admitting to yourself the things that are going well in your life, admitting to yourself the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you pleasure, and making sure that that's what we focus on. So you can see how the energy has shifted this week. We've come into this week feeling quite defensive, feeling quite nervous, feeling a little bit apprehensive, feeling a little bit, under pressure. But Wednesday comes along and we're like, you know what? It's okay. Everything's calm, everything's cool, everything's simple, everything's wonderful. The Nine of Chalices with the wish granted is basically saying to you, focus on the positives. Focus on the things that have worked, that are working, the things that you enjoy in your life right now. And you all know that I am a huge, big advocate for gratitude and practicing gratitude. And when you practice gratitude, you are focusing on the positives, focusing on the good that's happening in your life. It doesn't mean that there isn't any negative. But when we change our mindset from focusing on the negative to focusing on the positive, we seem to notice more of it. And when we notice more positive, it makes us feel more positive. And then when the negative happens, when a challenge or a problem happens, we suddenly able to overcome it quicker, easier, and simpler without allowing it to drag us down and hold us back. And that is how you master the step that you are on. Loving this, absolutely loving this. Right, let's have a look and see what Thursday wants to bring. Okay, so Thursday comes around and we've got the card of the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is basically saying to you, it's the book of secrets, it's the internal knowledge, it's trusting yourself, it's believing in yourself, it's letting your intuition guide you. That's what the High Priestess, she holds all the knowledge. And with that knowledge, it doesn't make her powerful, it doesn't make her arrogant, it doesn't make her better than anybody else. She holds it, she keeps it dear, she keeps it near to her. And anytime something comes up, she refers to the knowledge, and she can therefore use it to find solutions to change the situation for the better. So, Thursday, that's what you need to do. Whatever's going on in your life, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, on Thursday, when you have a challenge, when you have a problem, when there's something that you need to work through, don't go to anybody else. Believe in yourself. Spend time focusing, going inward, asking yourself the relevant questions, and finding the answers within yourself. And trust, believe that the answers that you have found within yourself, that they are correct, that they are relevant, that they are fabulous, and that they are wonderful. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your knowledge, and don't doubt your skills. Again, our week is about mastering the step that you're on. And on Thursday, it's about really standing in your power without arrogance, without ego, just standing in truth, in integrity, and in honesty, and do the things that are right for you. Do the things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, that bring you success, and not worry about anybody else. We do worry about other people. Of course, we do. We're human. We've got family, we've got friends, we've got who are special in our life. But when Thursday comes along, based on where we were on Wednesday, based on actually this whole week that we've had, Thursday comes along and it's like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I'm okay. I understand. I know. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not being fearful of anything. I'm confident in who I am, what I am, how I am. And because of that, I can. And when I can, everything's going to be great. Oh, I like that. Right. Let's have a look. I don't want to say that about all the cards, but I really do. Let's have a look and see what Friday brings. So, Friday comes along and we have got the Herald of the Waters. And Herald of the Waters is the Page of Cups. Okay, in traditional tarot, it is the Page of Cups. And whenever we see the Page of Cups, first of all, just how beautiful is this artwork? I mean, it is just so dreamy. It is so beautiful. Herald of the Waters is basically a reminder to be aware of your emotions, to recognize what you're feeling, recognize the excitement that you have, the potential that you have, recognize who you are in all that you are, in all that you do. Recognize all of that and embrace it, okay? Embrace it without fear, without judgment, without worry, without concern. Recognize that there's still much to learn, there's still much to understand, there's still much to comprehend. But where you are at now, it's understanding consequences of your actions, it's believing in a little bit of magic, and that's where we come in with this gratitude and all of these kind of things. So it's believing in a little bit of magic. It's about focusing on who you are, what you are, why you are, and all of those kind of things. But it's also about just recognizing that anything is possible as long as you believe. Anything is possible as long as you believe. And we do, we need to believe in it. And it's also about just being in touch with your emotions, being in touch with your feelings, being in touch with who you are and what you're going through, and not having, I'm going to call it unrealistic expectations, okay? Not having unrealistic expectations of yourself. And regardless of how you're feeling, all right, when Friday comes, regardless of how you're feeling, whether it's good or bad, whether it's high or low, whether it's happy or sad, it doesn't matter. Don't judge yourself, okay? Just be just be. Just master the step you're on. Acknowledge the feelings. Feel the feelings. Don't try and suppress them. Don't try and ignore them. But understand that miracles are happening around you every single day. Celebrate and acknowledge that. And if we can change our focus to be one more of gratitude, one more of excitement for life in general, not for tomorrow, not for next week, next month, or next year, but for today. Master the step you are on now. If you can do that and you can be in touch with your feelings without judgment and criticism, I promise you, you will overcome almost anything and you will feel so much better. You will feel so much stronger. You will feel that much more fabulous. That much more fabulous. All right, let's have a look and see what Saturday, what is the energy for Saturday that we need to know and we need to be aware of. So we've got another major arcana card, and it is the beautiful Empress. The Empress, she is the mother of all, okay, all things, all people, all situations. She loves, she brings life, she is the giver of life, but she also understands, you know, just like a human mom watching a baby take steps for the first time. We know baby's going to fall, all right? As we watch the baby get up and take that first step, we know the baby's going to fall. We don't stop the fall, we allow the fall to happen because we understand that it's part of the process, it's part of the learning, it's part of the finding your balance and being able then to take the steps. And that is what our Empress does for us as well. She recognizes who we are, she recognizes our strengths, and she recognizes our weaknesses, and she allows us to make mistakes. She allows us to do what we need to do. She allows us to do what we want to do within reason. But what she does is she watches very, very closely. She's very aware. She's astutely aware of everything that we do. And she recognizes that, yeah, sometimes we make mistakes and sometimes we don't always do things in the right way and the way that we need to, okay? But what she's also saying to you here is there is potential for greatness. There is potential for greatness. There is opportunity for success. There is opportunity for all of that in your life as long as you trust, as long as you believe, and as long as you do the work that you need to do. So Saturday comes along and you're suddenly going to be feeling very empowered. You're going to be feeling very confident and feeling very strong. And most importantly, because of these three, feeling very capable. Okay, I have to bring that word in, very capable. So the week starts off with a bit of a darker energy. And as we go through the week, we're changing, we're evolving, we're focusing on the here and the now, we're focusing on the today, okay? And by the end of the weekend, we're feeling confident, we're feeling actually, as I'm sitting here, I'm sort of like lifting my head over my shoulders and shoulders back, head up, sitting tall, feeling confident, feeling like actually we can do this. All right, we can do this. So Saturday is definitely a feel good day. So if there's anything that you've been putting off this week, if there's anything that you've been a bit concerned or nervous about, this would be, I'm going to say, Friday and Saturday would be a good time to initiate, to put it into motion, to put it into practice, without, as long as you're aware of your feelings, as long as you're mindful of what you're feeling and what you're going through. But it looks like the week is going to end actually on quite a fabulous note. So I'm loving this week for us, as we're moving towards the end of the year, as we're moving towards a whole new year. We do need to focus on the here and now. We can't, the future is uncertain. The past has already happened, it's done and dusted. The future has not happened yet. And yes, we can change it, but the best way to have a better future is by having an even awesome, better now, here and now. So master the step you are on. Above all else, be very aware of your feelings, your reactions, your perceptions, the way that you are responding, because you have control over that. You have control over how you respond to anything and everything that comes your way. And if you can, I want to say, balance that, if you can control that and balance that, you will be so much happier, brighter, lighter, more content, and also working towards a better future for yourself. Right. So, friends, with love and blessing from my heart to yours, and until we connect again.